Okay, the next puzzle I just solved is endgame. It was bishop versus knight endgame, and he decided, I mean, the opponent decided just to exchange the bishop for the knight. And the question is what to do here, because as you can see, you can immediately take bishop and you can take the pawn, and and probably maybe just like king g5 is also kind of candidate move. But let's start from the king g5 because it's the easiest way to easiest move to just to evaluate. So if king g5, then he can just simply go bishop f5, and he's defending all his pawns, and he can just basically in the next move come to my just come to my pawns and just take them, and yeah, I'm gonna just be it's gonna be draw or even my loss. So king g5 is wrong move. So what happens if I take the pawn? And if I take the pawn, then he comes he probably come like bishop g4. Sorry, I take bishop g4. Then I go here f5. He goes king f3 probably. I go king f6. He has to go bishop e6 just to stop my pawn. I just push. I take. He takes. I take his bishop with the king, and then he grabs my pawn here, and I'm just too slow to get back to his pawn. So he takes. I'm gonna have to go with king g6, and then he takes this pawn, and I'm lost. I'm gonna show it you again. So I'm taking the pawn. He's going bishop here, just to defend this pawn. Then I'm pushing the pawn on f5, f4, f5. He goes with king f3. I'm pushing the pawn to f6. He goes bishop e6. And basically, if I'm gonna push again f7, then he's gonna sacrifice his bishop for the pawn. But my king has to take the bishop, and then I'm just way too far from this pawn. And he gonna just take in the next move, and then the very next move, just take my two pawns and queen this one. Okay, so the solution has to be taking the bishop. So that bishop, king takes bishop, king f3, and then to push the pawn. Why? Because if he takes it, then I'm taking this pawn with opposition, and then if he takes my pawn on g3, I'm going g5 with opposition, and he cannot take this pawn because it's protected by my king. So he has to do something like, let's say, I don't know, like king f4, and then I'm taking this pawn. Yeah, let's see the solution. Okay, so here this, I'm taking here, and I'm going here. Yeah, as you can see, evaluation. Yeah, sorry, I just said that he can go king f4, but it's completely wrong because he cannot come here because my king is blocking here. So he has to go here. I take, and then he goes back, and I'm going here, and I'm gonna queen my pawn. Let's see what happens if he takes. If I don't go with pawn f5 and I just go here, then it's draw. Yeah, as I said, because then I'm taking his pawn. Oh, he can even take this pawn. Why not this one? Ah, yeah, he cannot take this one. He just takes here, and then he just takes the opposition, and he's just going. Even if I come here, he just blocking me here, and then he goes just here, and it's draw. Whatever I do, it's just a draw. Yeah, he's taking opposition, and then that's all.